Okay, meanwhile, for those of you who are here, can you please download, okay, for those of you online first, please download the worksheet found on Telegram chat. There are two worksheets. One's on market failure, which is the previous lesson. The other one is on the case study skills that we will cover today. Yeah, for those of you who are here at the physical outlet, I printed for you all, and you have the revision kit as well. Yeah, please take a seat and please take a worksheet. Worksheet and a booklet. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be starting soon, so I'm just waiting for a few more people to join before we start. Yeah, please take a revision kit as well since you're here. For the next student, the entire classroom, can you just give it to them? Just let them know. May I know which what's your name and which school are you from? You are Sajana Victoria. Oh, VJ. I was on VJ. Yeah, you're VJC. And you? Alright. Alright, I'll tell about I later. So, okay. I used to teach in RI, Sec 4 IP program. Yeah, in fact, have you seen me around before? No. Okay, today, right, we'll be going through market failure, the last bit, plus case study skills. I think all of you are here for case study skills. Oh, sorry, that's the yesterday's worksheet, but it's a spare, you can just take it. Yeah. Okay, just give me a minute and we'll start. Okay, again, for those of you online, the worksheet can be found on Telegram chat. Go and download the file. The PDF is there. But for those of you here, no need to download. If you want yesterday's worksheet, okay, that's yesterday's worksheet, you must go to a Telegram chat and download. Yeah. And for yesterday's video on market failure, it'll be available on YouTube in about a week's time. Okay, let me get started. Okay, thanks everyone for joining me on this Sunday morning. I know it's very early. It's Sunday. School holiday over already. No holiday. I know you all study very hard, right? Okay, end of year exam is of course very stressful, right? I mean, this is your very first big exam in JC life, and I remember as a student, wow, I was so stressed about it, right? It's a very important exam, and even scarier. 1 year later, you must take your A levels, right? And I know you all are here because you all need some help in econs. Or maybe perhaps you all are doing very well, like maybe a high B, and you're thinking, how can I push it to an A? And maybe for the 1 or 2 students, you're got an A, and you're thinking, how can I secure my A all the way to the A levels? Okay, so for me, I think I got a solution for you. I'm actually teaching econs in OVERMUGGED. Let me just share with you a little bit about us lah. Okay, so this is our Telegram channel. Sometimes we put notes, we put some of our important mind maps and other things to share over there. So the revision kit that we have, right? I think you all saw our blast over social media, right? It was given out throughout Singapore and it was quickly snapped up very quickly. So when we bring more booklet, I'll let you all know. Okay, this is our team. We are a team of specialist tutors. Okay, so we teach various subjects. Okay, for me personally, I teach A-level history and A-level econs. I love humanities. Most of us have 5 to 13 years of experience. We are generally younger teachers, but we also have experience because a lot of us have been teaching once we have graduated from university. Or for me, even different. For me, right after A-levels, I started teaching. Even while studying university, okay, every time after my lecture, I go and teach. Right. So for me, we believe in being fun, being engaging. So actually, a lot of our tuition centers, you realize there's a snack bar, there's bubble tea occasionally. And in my econ class, it's very fun. So usually it's a smaller group setting. There's a lot of discussion. So it's not just you like talking to a tutor. It's not. It's usually quite fun. And the people and the students here are also quite nice, right? So it's a very nice atmosphere. Because we believe that we want to make learning fun. We want people to look forward to going to tuition, right? Not Sunday morning, hello, come all the way to Serangoon for tuition. Of course, you want to be a bit sian, right? So usually what we want to do is that we want you to look forward to coming to class. So at tuition center, we try to make it fun, make it vibrant. We even have like study spaces. So some of the centers for our regular students, after school, they can actually come by. If there's no class, they can come by and do their work. So we want it to be an environment where learning is fun and learning is productive. It's not just having fun. It's being productive, and our tutors will guide you to get a distinction for your subjects. Okay, this is the Serangoon branch. We are just about 4 minutes away from Serangoon MRT. The past few days, I was teaching at Bukit Timah and Parkway. Okay, Bukit Timah, wow, very nice, right? Then Parkway, you got a sea view, like legit. Okay, those from VJC, you all know. You can see the East Coast Park. Very, very nice, okay? Custom spaces, got Toa Payoh, got Jurong East, got Woodlands, so the other spaces as well. Okay, for me, right, I am an NUS graduate. I majored in history, minor in political science. For me, I did A-level, I mean, did history, econs, lit, okay, the typical art combination. Right after my A-levels, I started teaching econs already. Because in JC, okay, I was actually doing very well for econs and history. So, right, even during my NS days, national service, right, every weekend I actually went out to teach tuition because I enjoy it. So I don't see it as a work. For me, I really, really enjoy teaching. Okay, econs very fun. And econs helped me a lot because personally I invest in the stock market. And actually the econs knowledge really helped me make money. Okay, later I will show you some of the companies I invested in. And some of my students who attended my lesson, I'll show them some of the companies I invest in. What is important? I apply the econs concept, like market structure. So things like Microsoft, Google, Apple, those are what? Oligopolistic companies. They are big, huge market share. Okay. They have a lot of non-price competition. They engage in R&D, right? So those are the very big companies that I identified. I invested in them when they were very cheap. And now I've actually made some money, right, from those companies, right? So these are some things that I do in the stock market. Economic knowledge is very important. Demand and supply concept important, right? So yesterday I was just telling the class about Taylor Swift. Okay, y'all know? Yeah, nah, raise your hand. Okay, raise your hand. How many of you have Taylor Swift ticket? No, I thought you all, a lot of people in the queue. Okay, so right, yeah, my fiance got a ticket for me. Personally, I mean, it's my first concert actually, but okay, I'm pretty excited. So right, okay, let's talk about Taylor Swift as an economic case study. So the price of Taylor Swift, you all know in the black market, increased a lot, right? People are reselling online at a very, very high price, right? Okay, now I want you to think about this. We talk about price of something, we must talk about demand and supply concept, right? So think about Taylor Swift. Is the supply limited? In Singapore, very limited, right? Is the supply price elastic or inelastic? Generally inelastic because there's only one Taylor Swift, right? Of course, later when there are more demand, she actually open up more concert, right? But there's a limit. She cannot sing every day, or else she'll get like sore throat, right? So cannot. So because of that, it's quite inelastic. Now, inelastic supply curve, okay, imagine me with a low supply and demand is crazy, right? Because now there's rising income, people have more purchasing power, people spend more on this kind of like luxury products, some people see as entertainment products. Worse, and also some more today, okay, the changing taste and preferences. People value things that are more like music industry kind of product, right? And also, not just that, some people buy not because they want to watch, because they want to do what? Resell. And in economics, we call this what? What determinant of demand is it called? It's called speculation. People think that when they buy Taylor Swift ticket, they can sell a higher price, then they profit, right? So there's a lot of speculation. Okay, I don't do that. That's not very nice for speculating. But just saying that people do it. Some people greedy, they want money, right? They sell in the black market. Source illegal. Okay, so what happens is this. Imagine inelastic supply curve with demand, rising income, taste and preferences, plus speculation. That's why the price of ticket in the black market is so expensive, right? Okay. So what I do is that I tend to bring econs to daily life. And more importantly, I want to make econs fun, right? For me, econs must be fun. If not, econs not fun, then there's no point learning. So in my classes, I would like to say that actually most of my students enjoy econs. They not only get a distinction, but they actually really enjoy learning, right? Because I make it fun. Learn to like talk Taylor Swift, talk about stock market. Okay, my track record is about 70% of my students score an A. But having said that, it's not just my hard work. To be fair, my students put a lot of effort also. Okay, so it's not just me teaching. I give the student the right tool. I teach them how to evaluate, how to analyze, how to link the context, and more importantly, they are the one who work hard to get the A. Yeah, so that's very important. It's a partnership between the tutors and the student. Okay, for econs, right? Usually my lesson is very exam focused, and I cover a lot of concept. Plus, I focus a lot on evaluation. Okay, evaluation is very important. If you got very good concept understanding, it's a C grade. C at most. I mean, you know what you memorize a textbook inside out. You memorize your school notes inside out. It's C. B, if for students who can analyze certain things. B for students who, let's say, for macroeconomic policies, they tell the strengths and weaknesses. They link the context quite well. Okay, that's B, or maybe a low A. A high A student, not only you tell me the strengths and weaknesses of each policy, you link the context, you evaluate, you argue that, oh, this policy is good in the short term, the other policy is good in long term. taxation might work for the lower income to deter them from smoking. Because to them, demand is more price elastic for smoking, right? Because cigarette take up a larger proportion of income. So when I tax them, they're more price sensitive, the quantity demanded might drop, maybe more than proportionate. But for the higher income, you can argue, oh, taxation might not work. Because to them, sure, they're rich. Taxation of cigarette is only a very small part of income. So to them, it won't really affect their demand. So there are all these things they can consider, right? Demand is more price elastic for the higher income. So then how we evaluate? So it comes to get A, right? During my lesson, I keep going through all kind of evaluative skills. Okay, this is what we did yesterday. So yesterday we actually covered market failure. So I just want to quickly go through a recap. I'm not going into details because today we're supposed to talk about case study. But yesterday this is what I did with them. We went through the, okay, I'll show them my stocks, but we went through the various causes of market failure. Okay, so go and watch the video. We spent a lot of time on public good positive externality. And we spent some time talking about information failure. Monopolies can come up for end of year exam. Immobility of factor input is a difficult question to come out. These are the different kind of market failure that you must know for EOY. I went through the diagram. I went through some template answer. I went to tell them, I went to tell the students that these are the many different kind of negative externalities that can be tested for your end of year exam. There are more. Okay, these are the top, the 9 very popular ones. Okay, microeconomic goals, externalities. We talk a lot about education, right? So one very important question we ask is this: why is it that in Singapore, primary school education, secondary and JC are nearly free? It's like $10 a month or $12 a month for primary school, I think. Then for university, it's not free. In fact, university must pay at least about slightly more than $10,000 a year. But why is that so? So you talk about things like the extent of external benefit and the extent of the divergence between perceived benefit versus true benefit. So you're not sure, just wait for 1 week later, you can watch a YouTube video. We spent a lot of time talking about imperfect information. So this is a diagram that we talked about yesterday. Okay, you're not familiar, again, go watch the video. Demerit good. Okay, we talk about car congestion. We mentioned why is it bad. Merit good, we give an example of health screening, education, vaccination. And called public good, non-excludable, non-rivalrous, also non-rejectability, right? So we did mention the problem of free riding. Okay, free riding. Like example for street lighting or for botanic garden, usually you don't put a barrier, right? You let people go in. So no one is going to provide street lighting for free because people can free ride. And we talk about the concept of non-rivalry. 5% or 10% stand under the street lighting, there's no difference in the marginal cost to provide for an additional user. Just because 5 people use it doesn't diminish the consumption of another person. The light do not get dimmer, right? So you mentioned about this, we talk about this idea of public park, street lighting. Okay, then we talk about all the other things like equity issues. Okay, now everything we talk a lot about solution. This can be found in your worksheet. Okay. Then yesterday we end off with this. And I did tell the class that I promised them that I will screen this on YouTube. Okay, so we are going to talk about question B. Okay, before we start, right, maybe I give you all maybe about 3 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes. Scribble down different policies to correct market failure. Okay, this is about, this can be found on the Telegram chat. It's not, this is yesterday's worksheet. But you all can take a look at the screen. Can you all think about the different alternative policies to deal with market failure? Okay, generally speaking, you might come up with 3 to 4 policies. And there are 2 kinds of market failure here. One is about imperfect information. The other one is about public good. Yeah. So maybe you scribble somewhere, take a piece of paper, scribble down 3 to 4 policies. Think about the strengths and limitations. Okay, so I'll teach you how to write. First, for exam purpose, right, every policy, you might explain how it works. Talk about the strength, followed by the limitations, link to the context. That's for the low A or high B. Then after that, to get a very high A, you might argue which one more important. And it depends on the timing, it depends on the context, it depends on short run, long run, depends on the group of people. You all try first, you all try first. By 111, maybe the 28 I'll go through. Always think about the root cause. Imperfect information. Okay? And public good. Okay, let me get started. Okay, so you must, okay, let's talk about the first policy. Well, when we talk about addressing market failure, right, for public good, what the government can do is to provide, right? Provision is always one of the most important too. Because why? For public good, when left to the free market, there will be zero provision. Why? It's non-excludable. No one is going to provide. It's non-rivalrous. Okay? When left to free market, because everyone will free, right? No one will provide. That's what government should provide. So when government provide, they do look at the cost-benefit analysis. Okay? So do I will upload this on the chat soon. I'll do a PDF version so you all get the full answer. But just share you all that it's for cost-benefit analysis. And Very importantly, right? Okay, I want you to look at this paragraph. A lot of people assume, when lifting the free market is better, right? Because more competition, firms become more innovative, firms will find the lowest cost method to provide for something. But when it comes to public good, you cannot leave it the free market because no one will provide. No one will be so stupid to go to Orchard Road and build a street lamp, right? Because you can't get a single cent. It's non-excludable. Everyone free ride. But what government can do is that they can engage the private sector through public-private partnership to do something what we call an open tender or closed tender. So, in school, right? When your school engage a learning journey vendors, okay, some of you go for learning journey in school, right? Then you got a private tour guide bring you around, right? Do you know that your school teacher cannot just anyhow call an agency and call the person down? They must do a tender. That means they call for a tender. Then maybe 3 to 5 companies or even more, they'll submit their contract. And the school is supposed to choose one of the cheapest and one of the best in terms of quality. So because of that, right, when you got public-private partnership, you're trying to get it's really taxpayers' money. But because you create some kind of competition by having a public tender, they try to assign it to the firm that is most efficient, most productively efficient, that is most innovative, and maybe even one of the cheapest. So cheap and good, basically. So the idea is this, the advantage of getting a private sector is that private sector, everyone will make money, right? If you're a lousy tour agency, you won't get business. So the advantage of this public-private partnership is that you still keep these services very efficient. You outsource to private firm. Okay, in SAF, next time when you go army, you know okay, your cookhouse, your food is catered by different caterers. So every year they have to renew a contract. So let's say that year got food poisoning, or that year the food not very good, they'll lose a contract. So private firms are a lot more consumer sensitive because they want to do business, they'll earn money, right? So they need to make sure that the food is good enough. Of course, the drawback is sometimes government might overpay. Sometimes there's political accountability. Sometimes there's corruption. Okay, people give to their friends, right, to do the contract. But Singapore is very strict. Singapore make sure they check through the contract. Okay, so this is one for public good. However, for imperfect information, you need to use another set of education. Can I write down somewhere? To get A for econs, take note of the root cause of market failure. Root cause. If the root cause is information failure, then you must give information through education. Let's talk about smoking again. When you look at television advertisement, you see a lot of campaigns, right? Okay, to tell people not to smoke. You also see your cigarette box. There's a law, I think, that about 40% or don't know how percent but put the very ugly, decaying lung image there, right, to scare you and ask you not to smoke, right? So this idea to ask people to not take up your first cigarette, right? Now, health screening, the government being asking the older people to go health screening. They can subsidize. But to create a demand, because there's a gap between the true benefit versus perceived benefit, there's divergence, right? A gap. Government need to educate, need to tell them, health screening is very important to bridge the gap. You understand what I'm saying? So if the cause is information failure, you need to give more information to bridge the gap between the perceived benefit, which is lower, to the actual benefit higher. You bridge the gap. Okay? So you're supposed to give consumer the socially optimal level of information. You're trying to increase the demand for healthcare service. And this will lead to allocating efficiency. Okay? However, evaluating the level, evaluation. Evaluation, you can mention this, it's a long-term policy. It takes time. Can you write down something else? Who do you think education will be more effective for? Older or younger people? Why younger?
Less firm about that.
Okay, less stubborn, right? Okay, more impressionable. Older people are more stubborn. Habit hard to change. Let me give you another one. We keep saying that education is not very effective for smoking, right? Because demand is quite elastic, right? People are addicted to smoking, right? Habit hard to change, right? Taxes also no good, right? Increase the tax also people still want smoke, right? But do you realize something? Education might work for people who have not smoked yet. So those who have smoked maybe too late already. But the non-smoker, assuming all of you are non-smoker, okay, it might work. It tells you that it's bad, you get lung cancer, right? People do not think in the long run, they'll get lung cancer. People underestimate the actual cost. People only look at now, say the cost of one cigarette, they look at the, maybe now I get occasional cough. But people ignore the true cost. Not they ignore lah. Sometimes people really don't know, right? So that's why people continue to smoke. So far, okay? Okay, now, let us go a bit further. Remember, I talked about taxes yesterday. Taxes might work for people who have not smoked yet. Because the government increased the cost of the first cigarette, people who have not smoked, right? They're not addicted yet, right? When they see a high cost, they'll be addicted. But of course, if you get addicted already, when you're addicted to something, demand is price inelastic. Can't really hook on it, ma. I waste my $10, you also cannot. Some people never smoke, they cannot sleep. Right? I'm not kidding, I know people like that, okay? So some people really addicted until, wow, cannot take it. So you must understand elasticity matters, right? Okay, so education talk about long run versus short run as well. Long run it might work, short run it might not work. Work for younger people, might not work for other people. Do you realize how to do econs now? Okay, I teach you how to context. Singapore, do you think education work or not? Let's do a bit of context. You need context to get A. Okay, my first question to you all is our government able to fund education? Can. Yes, because we have money. Okay, write this down. Singapore got strong savings. They got a very good budget. They got strong revenue. They can fund the campaign. Education, does it work or not? Can. Singapore, most people go to school. In school, you all got learn about say no to drugs, right? Say no to cigarette, right? Same primary school, right? So because the population educated, they can use assembly program to teach you all not to smoke. I got learn before, right? Okay, also not just assembly program, even like some advertisement campaign, Singapore Health Promotion Board, right? They're quite effective. Even you think about it, Singapore, the percentage of smokers, right, is, okay, I won't say it's low, but it's quite low compared to quite a lot of countries already. Yeah. Any questions about this point? You can ask me or you can type in the chat. Am I too fast? Do you find useful so far what you're learning? Okay, next one. Asymmetric information. Okay, yesterday I talked about this problem of lemon law. Again, if you're not sure, please watch the yesterday's video because I got no time to elaborate. But I talked about the case of the used car market. In the second-hand car market, there's a problem called a lemon problem. Okay, you learn this in your econs notes. Basically, seller of used car tend to sell very lousy cars. And when I sell them to the used car market, right, the car dealer will know. Because when I look at the car, I cannot tell it's 40 what. Only after I drive 20 km, then I'll know it's 40. So the problem with used car is that there's a lot of very lousy cars in the market. Now, the problem in this, as a consumer, if you know there's a lot of lousy car, you will what? Offer a high or low price. Lower. But what happens if I'm a seller and I have a good car? Then how? Die, right? Because people would know, even if I sell a very good car, but not everyone very paranoid. Think, hey, your car lousy. I know all the used car company lousy. Then they offer you a low price, right? Carousel like that, right? You're shouting on Carousel, you know, people will offer about 50% below what you're asking. Wow, this person not serious, right? But then what happened in the used car market? So what happened is that those with good car get penalized. Over time, you know what they do? They don't bother selling the car. So those who sell end up are the lousy car seller. Insurance. Those people with good health are the one not applying for insurance. Only those with bad health are the one applying for health insurance. So it's like health insurance, the premium are so high. Because insurance companies don't trust the patients anymore. They make sure that they charge high price for the insured. So do you see the problem now? So one way is what I call lemon law. Can you please read my chart for a while? So just read my chart for a while. Okay, thanks for those who type in the chat. Yes, education, you can say they're uncertain. The extent of mindset change and extent of MPB perceived to social optimal is uncertain. True, education takes a long time. It takes a long time to see the results. So there's some uncertainty. Okay, that's a good point. Okay, from Joe, he mentioned, okay, information failure, asymmetric information. Okay, asymmetric information, right, is a subset of information failure. So it's part of information failure. Yeah, information failure can include things like imperfect information, like just now I mentioned, true cause of smoking versus perceived cause of smoking. There's a divergence. So far, okay?
So regulations cannot be used to tackle the problem of education.
Depends how you use regulation.
So let's say if the imperfect information is, let's say, people don't know the true harm of consuming sweetened drinks. Then can you see the regulation is to require all drink sellers to label the...
Very good. Okay, very good. Yes, you can. That's a good solution. Okay, so someone mentioned in class, right? Let's say the sugary drink, a very harmful drink like Red Bull, do not have percent caffeine, right? This imperfect information, right? Consumer do know how bad maybe some caffeinated product can be or how much sugar. That's why Singapore, they say all your drink, like your Monster can, your Red Bull, they must label the percentage caffeine, percentage sugar. So law, law can improve information flow. For instance, lemon law is supposed to make sure, sorry, let's go back. They can give a standard to tell you that your product must meet certain safety standard before you sell, certain health standard. Cigarette box, the law says you must put the ugly warning about lung cancer on your box. Also, there's one more law called lemon law. Under the Consumer Protection Fair Trading Act, consumers for some product, especially IT product, you got 6 months. If within 6 months there's something defective, and it's not your fault, it's because the manufacturer fault, you can refund. So there's some laws in place, okay? What's the downside? Last point. Remember this, always write in your econs exam. High monitoring costs. Okay, my answer to Joe is, can you use information failure? My advice is that, let's say the general question is on information failure. I want you to talk about two kinds of information failure. One is asymmetric information. The other one is this one. It's an imperfect information. The part on very good versus the very good. Yeah. So there are different kinds of information failure. One is the part about very and the very good. So the information failure lies in the divergence between the actual, perceived, benefit, cost. The other one is asymmetric information. But of course, it depends on exam how many marks are. Because they have 15-mark question, I will talk about both. Okay, okay, evaluation. This is some other evaluation you can think about. I give you some time to take a look. Root cause, very important. Okay, root cause, remember I mentioned, okay, let's talk about this. Yesterday I mentioned in class, public good, government must provide, right? Merit good, government need to. Healthcare, usually is subsidized. Shouldn't provide fully. Because provide fully, people abuse it, people overconsume. But some countries provide it for free. Sweden, Norway, UK, free. Okay? Because of equity. Can you please write this down? It improves equity. So it depends on what your society prioritize. Some society, they prioritize equity. They say, okay, fine, even though it's not a public good. But I think it's better if the poor can afford. Therefore, I provide for free. Singapore use a public-private approach. If you really want to pay money, you go to a private GP. You want shorter waiting time, go private GP. But if you don't mind waiting and you want a lower healthcare cost, just go polyclinic, right? So Singapore got this private partnership approach. It's up to you. You want a cheaper cost, go polyclinic. You like your doctor so much, your GP, you like him so much, you see him for 10 years or 20 years already of your life, then okay, you pay more money for see. So Singapore respect consumer choice. Yeah. Of course, some people argue that if you're poor, it's better to be UK right? because that means everything is free your healthcare. So it depends on what you value as a society, right? There's no right or wrong. Okay, in econs, please try not to go and argue what this factor is most important. Okay, some question can, but a lot of question, right? It depends on context. So this work for a policy A work for context A, whereas policy B is more suitable for context B. And it calls about trade-off. For instance, Singapore approach, right, help firms to be more efficient. You get private GP to compete. Okay, Singapore give guidelines like the clinic guideline. You cannot charge. How much do you charge? There's a range. But Singapore respect consumer freedom. You can choose. You want to go expensive, you want to go cheap, up to you. Okay. But the trade-off is that if you're very poor, you rather be in UK because UK products are free. Okay. Same for a lot of other products. Okay. Singapore, we use a balanced approach to manage both private sector demands and the public sector. Okay. Any question? Of course, for imperfect information, okay, the solution is to improve information flow. Okay, so far? Okay, today I'm supposed to go into a case study. So let me, yeah, missing market for free provision. You can add that in. Okay, give me a while. Let me get through today's note. Okay, before I move into case study, let me go through a few important things. Okay, I want you all to look at this screen for the study tip before I. Okay, for those of you who are here today, you all have received my notes, the one with the table form. Okay, the next year I got new set improved notes, which got mind map, got flowchart. But the one is not free, the one I only give to my students. You may buy them online, but usually my students get them for free. So usually I got the new stack of improved notes, and every month or so I give different kind of notes to them. So one of those that I gave is I usually give them a lot of evaluation points in the essay. So it's not just facts, it's not just concept, but my notes contain a lot of table, a lot of chart, a lot of flowchart. For you yourself, right? My advice is this: you all must make your own notes also, because when you make your own notes, you all know that you all have learned. Go to the SEAB website. Go and download the econs A level syllabus. Look at every concept. Make sure you explain. Make sure you evaluate. When you study, right, one of the things that I do in my JC class is that I mix the topic. Market structure can be tested in market failure. Demand and supply can be tested in market structure. Central problem economic can test it market failure. You must learn how to mix them. Because in your exam, your examiner is going to mix them. So studying demand and supply alone will give you a false sense of confidence. When I mix topic, this when it get difficult. So my J2 student, every time I keep mixing topic, mix until by the time they reach prelims, they're so confident that they'll get A. Because they know, I know how to tackle different questions. So what I go through in my lesson is various question type. Like just now, we went through a policy question type on market failure. Okay, practice analytical skills, evaluation. We did a bit of evaluation just now. Do not just learn the facts. Facts and concept alone will get you a C grade. A is for evaluation. Okay, learn how to apply and look at different contexts. Okay, I give you all some time. Let's read through question 1. I gave you all the answer key. Okay, for those online, just download the worksheet. The answer key is there as well. I mean, like in the worksheet. Just read. I'll tell you how to do this question later. So when you do your exam, always highlight all the concept. All the concept. PPC is the concept that you all must know. That means you all must draw this curve later. Do you have any questions? Okay, now if you want to look at my screen, using the production, so you got any question? You have any question? You sure? Okay, now look at the screen, right? Using a production possibility curve, okay? So you must draw this curve later, right? Explain the impact of Terminal 5 on Singapore's economy. 2 marks. Maybe I can give 3 marks. Okay, first of all, can I ask you something? PPC curve is to test what concept? Can I ask you? What concept is it testing for PPC? Okay, what's the concept about scarcity that being tested? Sorry? Sorry again? I know, but what was the exact concept in this question? PPC curve is testing or what? So when a curve, okay, remember there's 2 things, right? The dot and the curve, right? Okay, what happens when the dot moves? What happens when, let's say, the dot moves, like from inside to outside? Okay, why is it maximizing productivity? What is actually growing? So that means an increase in production of goods, right? When the curve moves outwards, what is it doing? Curve move outwards. What's happening? Anyone? I can ask you. Very important concept. You learned it at the start of the year. When the curve moves outwards, what's happening? Tell me more. What about FOP? You're very close. What about FOP? Okay, I hear the word capital, I hear the word factors of production. More precisely, very good. Can you all please write down somewhere? Quantity and quality of resources. Okay, now if you know that the PPC can be 2 things. One is the dot move, which is the actual increase in production. The other one is about quality and quantity of resources. Sometimes it can be both. Let me ask you a question. Terminal 5, what is actually moving? Okay, let me talk about this. This is a legit case study. Singapore is building T5 by 2025. Very soon you'll see it start building already. Okay, now look at the definition. This is very important. You must define properly first. In your exam, 2-3 marks, just define. Define already, you link to a context. PPC curve show all possible combination of 2 goods that your economy can produce given any time period. Okay, given any time period, it shows you the maximum, the combination of goods, right? Now, look at impact number 1. When Terminal 5 project add a 3rd runway by 2020, they build more tunnels, more system. These are infrastructural stuff. These are more the capital good stuff. These are more about factors of production. Because this tunnel is to help you transport passengers, baggage in future. So this is actually infrastructure improvement. When it comes to infrastructure improvement, it's actually a factor of production. It's about quantity. They're building more like baggage system, more tunnels, more vehicles. It's considered capital. You understand so far? So you're increasing quantity of capital, which is a factor of production. Okay? Okay, now someone asked in the chat, right? Why is it not a consumer good? Why is it a capital good? Okay, my argument would be for this case, right? It is more of a capital good because it is seen as a factor of production and it is used to transport people next time. It is used to support tourism service, airline service. So it's more of capital good because it's a good use as a factor of production to help future tourism, future airline. Please highlight quantity. Next, quality. Please write down somewhere. When in exam, when you see the word R&D, innovation, improvement in technology, you are talking about quality of labor, quality. So when they got new system, new technology to improve your luggage, to improve your manpower productivity, when you see the word productivity, they will use technology to make things more efficient. It's about quality. When both quality and quantity of factor production increase, the curve will move upwards because it means in future the economy can produce more goods because you are projecting for the future. You are creating potential economic growth, not actual growth. Potential. It's about the potential. It's about future. So whether I got more vehicles, more tunnel, more system, or whether I got better system, more technology for the future, PPC move outwards. In exam, for case study, remember the code, the right codes. Just see how I code. Add your concept in, you get 2 marks. In fact, they can even give 3 marks for this question, for instance. So far, okay? Okay, now, I want you to spend the next 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, do this question. For those who just joined us, the question can be found in the Telegram chat. I give you a clue. To do this question, you must use the conceptual words here. You must use this concept. It's about PED. I give you another clue. Look at this. Apply all the concepts that you all know first, then I'll teach you how to do. Okay, 1 more minute. Okay, for those at home, can you all just type the answer in the chat? I mean, if you're willing to share your answer, please feel free to just type in the chat. Okay, thanks for sharing your answer. Yeah. Okay, PD elastic, blah blah blah. I saw quite a lot of things already. Okay, thank you. Okay, got a lot of answers. Okay, now the answer, okay, ignore the part below first. Just look at just look at the first line. The rest are just my notes. Given the expected fall in sales volume is more than proportionate. Okay, listen. You all might have the word more than proportionate. Without the word proportionate, you won't get the marks. Because elasticity is about the word term proportion. Demand for next clothes is price elastic. Okay, most of you got full marks. Okay, now this is quite easy, right? I'm going to change the question now. Okay, if the exam asks you about total revenue, can you please write down? If the examiner want to give a 4-mark question and they change the question to What happened to total revenue? What will your answer be? Okay, think first, huh? Don't tell me the answer so quickly, but just write down. Let's say they change your total revenue. Okay, thank you. Yep, you got the right answer, but I want to hear from total revenue. Okay, anyone ready? You all can raise your hand and share your answer. So assuming the price increase, what happened to total revenue? Okay, let's go back to this formula. Yes, can I hear you?
Total revenue is given by quantity price. So if quantity falls more than proportional to price, then total revenue will also fall.
Good. Okay, so remember this one, quantity times price, right? So now price increase a bit, but quantity demand drop more than proportional. So Q decrease a lot, price increase a bit, P times Q, total revenue decreases, right? Okay, so let's say I ask you about total revenue like that. Now, trick question. Okay, listen to the trick question. So we got an easy question already. What if the examiner asks you, what can you conclude about the profit? Can you make a note somewhere in your notes? Let's say they give you a 4-mark question. They ask you what can you conclude about the profit. Put a star. Right there, trick question. Okay, can I ask you something else? What can you conclude about the profit? Okay, first of all, let's examine properly. What is profit? How to calculate profit?
Revenue minus cost.
Okay, total revenue minus total cost, total expenditure. This extract, they tell you anything about cost? No. Okay, if this is an exam condition and they give a case study, right? Please go and look at very carefully to see what's the cost. Okay. Sometimes they will hint to you like cost increase, cost increase. But if they don't have, this is what you can do. Okay, look at the answer. You can just say, oh, total revenue, yes, total profit, I think, yeah, we should increase because I expect revenue to increase because, sorry, wrong. I expect revenue to decrease, okay, because I know that my quantity demanded will drop more than proportional to an increase in price. So basically, my demand drop a lot, my quantity demanded drop a lot, my price increase a bit, total revenue is a loss. However, we do not know about cost of production, so we can't conclude fully unless the question talk about it. Because sometimes the question might say, actually, the cost decrease. If the cost decrease, then maybe your profit maybe increase, right? But of course, if the cost increase, if the abstract mention the cost increase, your profit will drop. So in exam, you must take note of the cost. If let's say they ask you a profit question, this is a very common question in year Y. Do not fall to this trap. A lot of students blah blah very happily, then look at PED, then tell me about increase or decrease. Look at the cost. Your case study will give you hints about the cost. Okay, last one. Just take note of the question. It's always free. What can you conclude or what can you tell about something? So you can talk about the good, the yes, it should increase, should not increase. But the counter thing will be, the counter argument can be, you can talk about both sides, increase, decrease. Then you might mention that the data is insufficient because it lacks certain thing. So it depends on the question. But sometimes, okay, study will give the data. So just remember for profit question, please be very sensitive to the data. Sometimes it will tell you a bit about the cost side. Okay, let me go through another one. Okay, this one is a very interesting case study. It's about cannabis. Okay. Okay, I want you to try question 3. Okay, now for question 3, right? I want you to add one more question. Okay, just do a 1 mark lah. Tell me about the trend. So you just try to explain the trend of cannabis price, then you do the other question. Extract 1 is a bit, you need a bit of close reading. It's not a difficult question, just you must read a bit more carefully. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's say the exam question asks you to identify the trend. What will you say? Can I hear from one of you? Okay, maybe can I hear from you? Yeah. Okay, decrease, right? In a price, you mean price, Okay. Any other thing that you observe that you think is worth noting? 2005, 2007, very steep. Is it? Or this part, right? Then there's a slight increase here also, right? Okay. In general, right? I mean, the answer is a bit more straightforward, but I just want you all to know first, it depends on the marks, okay? If this is a 1 mark, then maybe just mention decrease, right? But okay, what are the things to take note of? Number 1, overall trend. Number 2, rate of change. Please remember this. Especially your examiner give you 2 marks, better tell me your rate of change. Is it increase at an increasing rate or increase at a decreasing rate? Third thing, please take note. Please take note. Any abnormalities or reversal or trend, you must tell us. So I like how she stated that there's a sharp drop. Very good. The magnitude, very important. So if the year there's a sharp drop, sharp increase, it is very important to highlight that. Now, trend reversal. 2010 onwards, starts to increase a bit. Gradual increase. Highlight that. The guideline is look at the marks. 2 marks, you should write a bit more. Okay, now let me give you one exam tip. A lot of times for a trend question, sometimes your answer got about 3 points. 2 marks. My advice is write all 3 points. So if one wrong, you got 2 points, right? You still get full marks. Some answer key allows that. The difficult question comes when I ask you compare. Then you give 2 lines. Then I say, what? Tell me about compare the trend, something like that. Or explain the trend. So describe the trend. Okay, I tell you how to do. 1 similarity, 1 difference. Take note of the same thing. Increase, or decrease? Rate of change, abnormalities, magnitude, sharp or maybe gradual. Next thing, please take note of this. When there's an exam question asked for comparison, take note of intersection. If out of sudden, let's say price of A and B, right? Or A go past B, there's a year intersection, right? Highlight that to your examiner. Okay, you might get a mark. In fact, usually it's 1 mark you can spot any intersection. Okay, the general no, there's no excess deny. So usually write more. Just write more. But do contradict yourself. Do say increase, decrease, then of course you're not answering the question. But you write more and they do not contradict, you just write more, explain more. It's more likely you'll get full marks. Cambridge practices what we call positive marking. So they won't, there's no chance that excess deny. They won't like see extra point and minus mark. Won't. Even your point is wrong. Unless your point contradict your previous point. Like say increase, then outside you say decrease, then Cambridge, what is saying? Then now you're asking for trouble lah, okay? Okay, the next one, right? Identify, explain. Can be explained, can be identify lah, okay? But identify is lower level. Okay, take out a highlighter. Supply factor. Okay, let's read. They permit adult use of cannabis. That's a demand factor, not a supply factor. Okay, adults can purchase cannabis, cannot sell to young person, or they get in trouble. Okay, shortage. Shortage means what? Price increase. Cannabis shortage means price increase. Shortage can be due to high demand, low supply. Okay, now take note. Despite rapid capacity expansion, they got greenhouses, they plant crop, they got a lot of things. They want to add billion of revenue, but go have to find a way to move. Also, there's an oversupply. Okay, what is happening here? Why is it that there's an oversupply? Because of what? What is happening here? Can I just hear from you? So they mentioned they got build a greenhouse, then got capacity expansion. But why is it out of sudden that there's a sudden increase in supply? Can I hear from you? Why out of sudden got so much supply? Is there a deeper factor? Okay, you have to read between the lines. Try to understand the entire story. Why out of sudden supply increases? Look at paragraph 2. So in exam, you must try to find the root cause. Okay, maybe I start with you. Anyone? Okay, at the back, you look like you want to try. So my question is this, why there's an increase in supply? Okay, let's look at the chart again. Let me find the chart for you. Okay, price go down very sharply, or something will be happening. But why? Okay, let's take a look. Actually, right, it's really because, okay, the government allows for more firms to be in the market. They allow for more firms. They say legalize so you can plant, right? Increase supply. Okay, in fact, you can go into more details. When increase supply, okay, people start building greenhouses, start to do plant crops, start to expand very rapidly. Because previously you mentioned about it being legal. It's a regulatory barrier. Okay, now, let's say this is a 1 or 2 mark question. Let's move on. Can you add another 2 mark? What market structure do you think this is? Explain. Can be 2 to 3 mark. What kind of market structure and explain? Cannabis. Okay, I give you some time. Okay, so what must you do when the question asks you about what kind of market structure? First thing you must do is this. You must take down the characteristic of market structure and think about which characteristic apply to this cannabis industry.
Why is it that we say that the reason for the increase, the reason for the supply increase is because of new firms, and not because the existing firms like expand.
Possible. You're right. It could be an increased supply might also be due to existing firm expanding. That's a valid answer. Yeah, thanks for the answer.
But it's also acceptable to assume that there's going to be big firms.
Yeah, I think so. Because legalize then more firms will enter. Okay, can I hear from one of you? Okay, let's start with you. What kind of market structure do you think this is? MC. Okay, why MC? Sure, I mean nothing. PCs are rare, but MC is very common. Okay, do you think there's is it okay? The most important thing barriers to entry. Write this down. Is it high or is it low barriers to entry? What do you think? Somewhat low. Why? A lot of people open a rapid expansion. Okay, possible. You can also mention things like maybe it doesn't cost much, right? Talk about capital, talk about financial barriers to entry. Okay, it doesn't cost much. And say legalized already, maybe I mean you can't patent the cannabis, so it's quite low barrier to entry. You can just grow there in your backyard. Did you know someone tried to grow in a HDB flat in Singapore before? Yeah, could have been to jail after that. Okay, is it possible to argue there's an oligopoly? Also can for a number of terms. Okay, so you can argue that greenhouses are very expensive, take technology. Then maybe capacity expansion are by the bigger growers. They expand, they build bigger firms. So both are possible. Now, my answer is this, both are possible, you know why? Because this case study, they make it very clear. So if this if they want to test a question, they will make it clearer. Okay, now, see I'm talking about this, can you all please take note for EOY? A lot of schools like to test market structure question that allows for two different kind of market structures to exist in the same industry. Cannabis, MC, is it possible? Low barriers to entry is possible, right? High barriers to entry, I've got very big of thousands of, don't know, got many hectares of land, a lot of technology, a lot of greenhouses. Can it be oligopoly? Big firm, high market power, can. If your school wants to be difficult, which I think they will be for end of year, they will test two different markets. Can you at this stage take out your pen, write this down? What kind of industry can you have two different market structure? I give you one. Cafes. Starbucks, coffee bean. What market structure is it? Oligopoly. My neighborhood, the Heartland Cafe, what is it? MC. So they can ask about two. Okay, I give another one. Supermarket, NTUC, FairPrice, Giant. They are oligopoly, very big. They expand over Singapore, a few large firms. They are very rivalrous. They're high barrier to entry. Right, you're not open NTUC tomorrow, you cannot money millions of dollars, right? Sheng Siong, we need a lot of money. But can I open a neighborhood provision shop that sell similar product? Maybe can. So that's MC. Please study this carefully because EOY is a very common question. They like to test the kind of two different kind of market structure and you are supposed to explain, okay, the bigger one got this characteristic, the smaller one got MC characteristic, MC lower barrier to entry, oligopoly, higher barriers to entry.
Sorry. For oligopoly, isn't there an assumption that like for oligopoly there's like a few big firms, but there can also be a lot of small? So
Yeah.
you see that the market structure is just an oligopoly?
No. Your examiner will only recognize that there existed two different market structure because there's still small firms around, which means that there's still low barriers to entry that allow for these small cafes, these small shops to survive. Okay, I tell you one example. What is one market structure that don't have these two? Oil, petrol station, Shell, ExxonMobil, SPC. They don't even have space for a small firm to come in. So that's a pure oligopoly. Again, another one. Singtel, StarHub, N1, MyRepublic. This oligopoly. You try to open a small shop tomorrow, you need millions, a few hundred million just to open a telco. So if there's a mixed structure, you might explain to the examiner there's a mix. But for telecommunication and for oil, for petrol, it's a pure oligopolistic firm.
So it's the idea that like if you want to open like a firm like Starbucks and you want to expand it so big, then the so-called barriers to entry is a lot higher.
That's
But then
right.
if you just want to open like one shop, then the barriers.
Correct. Yeah. So the kind of chain, coffee bean, Starbucks is so big. The scale is so big. The economy of scale is so big. It's quite called natural barrier to entry. Why is it natural? Because naturally they don't even do anything, by the sheer size, you need hundreds of billions to open comparable to Starbucks, like Luckin Coffee. Yeah, yeah. You need money, and most people don't have money. It's really crazy. Yeah. By the way, you can buy Starbucks in the stock market. This is one of the company that we look at because they have very big money, they're very profitable. Right. Okay, very good, very good. Thanks for participation. Okay, everyone, look at the next case study. What question is this? Case study. Next one. Look at question 4. Is it? Can you please do question A part 1 and part 2? So do until part 2. B no need do. B is a J2 content, so the one no need do. Question 4. Just look, yeah, look at my screen. This question. Okay, sorry, one more thing. For extract 1, can you please turn extract 1? Can you please add the additional sentence? I want to make the question a little bit more interesting. Can you add the last sentence? Wait. This is a good year for car sales due to strong economic growth. Please copy that line and add it to extract 1. I want to add another layer of analysis for extract 1. So I want you all to take into account strong economic growth. Okay, when you're done, just let me know. You finish it, yeah? Okay. Think of all the concepts that are applicable. Okay, I give you a clue. When the production level, right, it's not just demand. It's really demand and supply. In your worksheet, did I state how many marks?
Yeah.
How many marks did I put for the worksheet?
Marks.
Sorry, 4.
Two.
2. Okay. I want you to think about a 4-mark answer. Okay, so if I increase, because I added more things, right, I can increase to 4. In fact, if I increase to 5 mark, there's another angle I can test. But let's say I increase it to a 4-mark question. Okay. So you will see a difference. Normally, 2 mark will be 1 factor, right? 4 mark means I think 2 factor. And see the production level, there will be both demand and supply. Okay, sorry for both of you at home. Let me increase to 4 marks. So that for 4 marks, I want you all to write one more factor. And in exam, try to write both demand and supply factors. Is 1 more minute enough? Okay, a bit more than a minute. Okay, anyone still writing? Okay, let's get started. Okay, what's the trend? Very straightforward. It just increase, right? Okay, now again, if I want to be difficult, right, you know what I'll do, right? You see, now it's all positive, very straightforward. But let's say I can increase it 2 marks. And 1 year I show a dip. Or 1 year I show an exceptional increase. So I just let you all know some of the things that your end of year exam can do to make it more difficult. Okay. You all know which index, right? The index here is always start with 100 so something to take note of. Okay, now can I hear from a few of you what are some demand and supply factors? For those of you at home, you may type in the chat as well. Okay, can I start from you? Share with me one demand and supply factor. Technological breakthrough is the supply factor. Explain. What do you mean by production method more effective? You're getting there, you're getting there. You got the right contextual information. Okay, come. What do you mean by more effective? So why would supply increase? Since you mentioned more effective. In econs, when you mention supply more effective, it can mean that supply is becoming more or becoming cheaper, lower cost of production. So better technology, better production method. Thanks for your point. Can you please highlight? That's a good point. Okay. So your friend here, she mentioned about improvement of production method. She quoted right example. So can you just write a note somewhere? In exam, supply factor, right? Anything that improve the quality of resources, anything that improve the quantity, anything that lower the cost of production. So in this case, because they improve production method, it's a factor of production. They're making it cheaper, more cost effective. They can produce more. Okay, next. Okay, thanks for those online. I think I saw quite a good response. I'm going to talk about this later. Okay. Vertical integration. Have you learned this before? It's about economies of scale. EOS. You all know why? Okay, I tell what's vertical integration now. Starbucks is a very good example of vertical integration. Instead of just selling coffee bean, they make sure they buy over the roaster, the factories in like China to roast the bean. Then they also make sure that they secure the coffee bean from the plant, from the grower, can be in Brazil. So they control different part of the chain. So they part A, part B, part C controlled by them. From the growing to the roasting to the selling in the many countries, Korea, Singapore, whatever. Okay, vertically they're integrated. That means they control different part of the process. Okay, the different part of the process is controlled by them. This is a form of economies of scale because they can get things cheaper through bulk purchasing. Sometimes they even buy their own transport. Wow, they save money on transport. This is only relevant for large companies, and they're mainly relevant for oligopolistic firms or monopoly. Write this down. Large companies, oligopolistic firm, a lot of them have vertical integration. They got things cheaper. They're producing cheaper. Okay, just now someone online gave me a very good answer. Thanks, Santush. They mentioned about derived demand. Read this very carefully. Demand for aluminium for car makers. This is the concept of derived demand. Why? When you buy car need aluminium. So automatically you consume aluminium. Okay, any other factors? One more very important. Last line. What factor is this? Everyone in class? What is this last factor? You learned before? Determinants of demand. No, last one. I mean car sales got derived demand, but last one. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I saw something. Substitutes. I saw it somewhere. Where is it? This one. Viable alternative to steel. So it's a close substitute. Can you help me write down? Close substitute. And more people are trying to consider aluminium. More manufacturers are considering using aluminium. One more factor. I highlighted for you already. What is this? No. This one. Strong economic growth. What factor is this? When there's higher economic growth, there will be more income. When you got more income, you have more purchasing power. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. You're on the right track. Come, I show you. Okay, so far so good. Okay, come, everyone, take a look at this. Okay, all of you got very good points. So you combine together, you get a high level. Right. Strong economic growth, higher income, your basic necessity fulfilled. Next thing to buy is a car. Car is what? Normal or luxury, depends. Okay, by the way, I just want to let you all know what is luxury and what is normal, all relative. Okay. Is aeroplane a normal luxury good? I think air travel depends. If normally you see SIA economy, then first class or business class is luxury. Budget airline become inferior good. Then your normal economy class is considered normal good. It depends on in relative concept. But generally speaking, you can argue car can be seen as a normal to luxury. To some people, it's luxury good, right? But to some people, normal good. But generally speaking, increase income higher, you got more purchasing power, you get to buy a car. And we buy more car, demand for aluminium is derived from the demand for cars. When you demand cars, they need more aluminium, blah, blah. Okay, you do this 2 marks. 2 marks, Okay, for those of you at home and do maybe I will send my PDF in give me about 1 week time. I'll just send it out as soon as possible once I get everything sorted out. Okay, so just take down a key point. Supply. Just as I mentioned, productive, more production, improve in production. More productivity means, can you please highlight? Lower cost of production. This is a very important concept. Lower cost of production means more profit, means firms are more willing and able to produce aluminium. Increase supply. Okay, can you write this down somewhere? Any time in exam, when you mention lower cost in production, you can mention supply increase. Lower cost of production, supply increase. Innovation will lower cost of production, therefore increase supply. Okay, question B no need to do. That's a question you do in J2 lah. Am I too fast? Can I show you question B now? The structure. Okay, I just let y'all know first. Question B, right? Y'all won't do it now, but I just want to talk about structure. Okay, this is a very common question for end of year exam in terms of structure. Explain whether the data support this or does not support this, right? Okay, normally to write, I just tell first, it's very commonly tested as a 6-mark question. Data does it support, does it not support? 2 mark for data support, 2 mark for data does not support. Then and the last 2 mark come from insufficiency of data. You just argue that the data is limited, but it doesn't tell you this, doesn't tell you that. This is more common for macro lah, okay? But just saying that J1 they can test it as well. That means they can ask you a data question, ask you does it support claim or does not support claim. Just give 2 mark for support, another point for does not support, 2 mark. Last 2 mark is insufficient data. Or sometimes can be 2 support, 1 challenge, 2 challenge, 1 support. 6 mark generally 3 points lah. So just let you all know first. Okay, next question, I won't go through due to lack of time, but I just want to go through a very common J1 EOY question. This is an essay, but today I'm not supposed to go through a lot of essay, so I'll go through case study lah. I will upload this in a few days' time, the answer key. But y'all can practice this question. It's a very common kind of demand supply question. Okay, so the thing of it. Okay, I give a clue. Highlight the word sharply. Sharply. Price doubled. So this kind of thing you must know. Risen sharply. So all these things you all must know. In exam, when you see word sharply, you must think of PS, think of PED. Okay, sometimes even YED and XED concept are relevant. So in exam, just be flexible. Okay, I give you all some time. I give you all 7 minutes to do question 6. Not to do the whole thing, but I just want you to read and highlight and write your key points. Oh, yeah, sorry. For those online, I uploaded it. For those who are here go to Telegram chat download. See whether you're, on the Telegram chat. Because this was printed quite earlier on, so. Can you find the worksheet? Okay, great. You all pretend to do our work, okay? I take photo. You all do mine, right? Okay, good. You look very hardworking, I'm taking photo. It's just another 3 minutes. No need to do the whole thing. It's just really typing out the key points that I can go through them. So yeah, do you understand this question? What do you mean by where market structure is? Isn't it a topic? Is it? Wait, you understand what I'm saying? A market structure is a H2 topic. Yeah, so if for the person who asked me about what market structure is it, if your H1 is not inside the syllabus. Oh, you're H2, right? Okay. Ah, don't worry, think about demand and supply. Yeah, because the demand and supply concept are applicable as well. Are you all little like studying elsewhere or you all have other things to do? You all have tuition, Oh, what time? Wow, then you got 1 hour break. Next one is math, physics. All right. Normally there's a snack bar, but I think now we ran out of snacks, but we'll refill it soon. Yeah. Last 2 minutes. when most of you sign online, right, could you all book both classes, like yesterday's class and today's class? Or could you only choose one? Can book both, right? I see. Yeah, because I realized different days I've got different students. Some prefer market failure, some prefer case study. Okay, very quickly, right? Okay, I just show you how to do question part one. Part one is to explain the market structure. What you need to do is you look at the extract, right? Okay, I just show the answer. Always look at the extract. And the extract mentioned there's only one firm. One firm means is what kind of firm? One firm means it's very likely to be a monopoly, right? They explain the natural barriers to entry, financial barriers and whatever barriers. Okay, mention that high fixed cost means lower unit cost of production. Artificial barriers include licensing and consumption, certification costs. So what you need to do is this. In your exam, you need to look at the abstract. Link it to what you know about the characteristic of market structure. PUB, water, one firm. High market power, price setting ability, linked to barriers to entry. Barriers to entry, my advice is this, can you please write this down somewhere? Make a mind map somewhere. Divide into two segments, natural versus artificial. Then write down a list. In exam, this is a very common question for EOY, and they will ask it for other thing, oil, supermarket, cafe. They ask you to explain the market structure. Can be 3 marks, can be 4 marks. And you must list down the different barriers to entry. Okay, take note. Every time you talk about high fixed cost, remember to mention high EOS. The scale is so big that you need to be like the PUB, only one player to earn that kind of money. In fact, they say having 2 water firms not efficient. Right? It's like having 2 MRT firms right beside each other, not efficient. So this is actually the argument for natural monopoly. The argument that the EOS is so big that only one firm should be inside. When there are 2 firms, they won't be able to enjoy that much EOS. They cannot earn that much money. Okay, so far? Okay. Now let's look at part 2. Don't worry, I'll upload the answer in just a few days' time. I'll make sure before you get your answer. Okay, part 2. Okay, part 2 is a question about market structure and market failure. You need your market failure knowledge because they're asking you whether countries should nationalize or privatize. Nationalize or privatize. So you must talk about the argument for nationalization and the argument against nationalization. The argument for nationalization is the argument against privatization. The argument for privatization means you want many firms, right? It's the argument against nationalization. Nationalization is basically public provision. You leave the one firm, leave the government. So this is a market failure / market structure topic. Can you write this down? This is a very common question for end of year. Because the teacher want to make sure you study everything, right? So you test this question on, ask you whether you understand whether you can do market structure and market failure at the same time. Okay. Due to time constraint, I cannot finish the whole thing, but I promise you I'll upload the answer. Okay, nationalization, straightforward. It means government take over. And the most common diagram is this diagram. I'm sure you've seen it before, right? Got see before? Got see before? Okay. Why you so scary? Okay, I know this is a very scary diagram, right? You agree with me? Quite scary, right? Okay, for the purpose of your exam, always remember this. Remember this, for monopoly or oligopoly, this diagram. Always remember, firm produce at a place where MC card, MR, they were underproduced at QM. QM means the monopoly quantity. But what price will they charge? They'll charge monopoly price of PM. How do you know a PM? Very easy. Look at dotted line. You follow dotted line all the way up. Follow it up. They hit the AR. AR is actually a demand curve. So they're purposely underproduced and they'll charge where the demand is at at this part of AR curve. Hit the AR, charge monopoly price. Underproduced and they charge monopoly price. This means that there will be welfare loss. This means that it's bad for consumer because people like you must pay more money. And this is underproduction. Because of overproduction, the socially optimal level is QS. QS is where MC cut the AR curve. So they purposely underproduce it. They charge high price. Do you know this applies to antibiotics? Do you know this applies to cancer drugs? This is why fighting cancer is so expensive, because the pharmaceutical companies, they purposely underproduce and they charge high price. This is why Microsoft Windows, you buy Microsoft product, you know how expensive it is. They purposely underproduce. This is why Apple iPhones are also expensive. They're under production because they got market power. Market power gives them the right to underproduce and charge high price. Because they control the market. They got price setting ability. Therefore, nationalization will improve equity. Okay? Nationalization means that you can keep water affordable. Understand so far? Don't worry, I will send you an answer. I'm rushing a bit, but I'll send an answer. And what's the limitation? The limitation is that the government need to monitor. There will be high monitoring costs. Okay, this for privatization. So you read the extract. In UK, there are 23 water companies. So the problem when you don't monopolize, you don't nationalize, you leave it a free market. Imagine every day they will send inspector to check out 23 water plants to make sure the water safety standard is high. Very high cost. Don't forget, the extract mentioned UK, the firm got water pollution. Singapore, the PUB got water pollution. No lah, government only got one firm, they just check your PUB, make sure they do it anyhow. They have high standards, right, Singapore. Okay, the water pollution, you got third-party effect. The fishermen who use the river got less fish. Cause why? Water pollution kill the fish. Then some people say, actually, remember I just not mentioned to you all before, sometimes private firms are more efficient. In fact, a lot of times they're more efficient, right? Because they know their water must be good. They got 23 companies. If the water quality not good, what happen? People go to the other company, lor. So the good thing about having competition drives innovation. Competition makes sure your firms will be always productively efficient. They'll try to find the lowest cost method. They'll innovate. Make sure the safety standard is good. Okay, this is something else. Nationalization, the bad thing is that sometimes some government, especially in Thailand, they do manage water well. Sometimes corruption, they do manage it well. Okay, evaluation, always talk about the kind of country, talk about the competency. Singapore does a very good job because we've got very high standard. Things can change. So you can mention that even in privatization, it's a market failure of water pollution. Government can intervene by giving a fine. So my answer is this. It depends on context, depends on the budget, depends on external market failure. Also, sometimes when bad things happen, when there's water pollution, they can choose to clean up. They can choose to find companies which are dirty. So there are many kind of evaluation. Okay. Okay, so for today, right, I just hope that you benefited from today's session. Do you just mind staying for another just 5 minutes for me to just run through some of the things of my first lesson? Okay, for now, I'll need to change J2. So I have not opened a J1 class yet because I'm just busy preparing my students for A-levels. For you, right, because in next year you'll be J2. So I will only start lesson in November. It's to give you a head start. So I'll revise all the J1 content. I'll start around end November because I need to finish the A-levels first. So now I'm giving my attention to my J2 students. But if you're keen, you can sign up now. You get to choose a priority class selection. I have classes in Marine Parade, in Bukit Timah, and also here. So you get to choose your classes. We'll give you an extra set of notes. So my econs note is 200 pages times 2. I got 400 pages of econs notes. One for macro, one for micro. So 200, 200. I only giving them to my students. If you sign up now, you get another subject. Maybe I'll give physics notes and math notes for free. Okay? You get a welcome package as well. I'll probably give you another 12 lesson sometime maybe end October. But you sign up now, you can choose your classes. So this is something you can consider. Okay, but for now, can you just